What's up, guys? Marcellus Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, here to educate you on health and social well-being. This is day one of my 4-day split, taking you guys through each individual session, showing my new programming looks like, the layout, so you guys can know what I'm doing, how I'm pushing things, how I'm progressing everything of that nature. And you guys already have kind of what the full layout looks like. You know what each of my days look like, and like, you know, the sets and rep schemes for the SBD and the accessory work, because I broke all that down in last video. So yeah, it's Saturday, day one, primary squat day, and day one, lower body day, right? And squats went fairly well. What I'm doing with my squats, especially like on this day, is essentially seeking to take the high end of the range when I'm able to for my top sets, to kind of keep that top end of intensity and strength where it needs to be. And then I am intentionally taking the lower end of the range for my back down sets, which typically isn't what I do. Typically, I try to take the high end of the top set if I'm able to, and I also try to take the high end of the back downs if I'm able to, and keeping at the RP it needs to be at. But once again, the main focus of this programming is not to prioritize the big three. If I end up just getting stronger on the big three with this type of programming, awesome, but the main focus is growth. So I much rather take the lighter end of my back downs and save that energy for really pushing hard on the accessories that I have for the day, as far as like the leg press and the leg curls, versus pushing really hard on the top set, pushing really hard on the back downs, and then not being able to push my accessories to the degree that I want. It's kind of like taking the opposite approach. Where before it's like, hey, push the big three as much as I can, use the accessories to bridge the gap. Now it's push the big three as much as needed and really go crazy on the accessory work. So that's what I'm doing as far as squats. So top set with 190, felt fine. And then the 2x5 back downs with 160. My range was 160 to 165. I took 160, felt fine. As you guys can see, I'm in the SBD knee sleeves. Those of you that are on the powerlifting Instagram community are fully aware of this, or if you just keep up with IPF dealings, you're aware of this. But as of, let me double check, I want to say it's as of August, once August 18th hits, right? These knee sleeves will no longer be allowed in the IPF or any federations under the IPF, including Powerlifting America. So the Inzer Ergo Pro knee sleeves, the Tight knee sleeves TKS, the Oni knee sleeves Pro, the Strength Shop 7mm Inferno Pro, the Hanzu 7mm knee sleeves, the Vortex knee sleeve 7mm, or the A7 Hourglass knee sleeves Rigor Mortis. So pretty much all of the stiff sleeves. Like, long story short, some testing was done, and it came to the conclusion that I believe the exact reason is just due to the it's a quarantine analysis commissioned by the IPF and undertaken by an independent laboratory. The above knee sleeves do not comply with being made of neoprene as defined in the IPF technical rules. So, long story short, stiff knee sleeves are no longer allowed in the IPF umbrella or any of the federations under the IPF umbrella. So, it's one of these things where there's been a whole lot of talk about this on Instagram, a lot of memes being made, which I'm personally loving. The memes are hilarious. A lot of people being like, oh, it's whatever, just adapt, get over it. A lot of people being like, no, this is unfair. Like, this isn't fair to the companies. It's not fair to the individuals who paid money for these sleeves, not fair to the companies who paid to be on the list all the way through 2026. And I've addressed this all on Instagram, but I figured I would just address it here as well, very briefly, just to give my overall thoughts. So I think the problem that with a lot of people, not most people I've talked to have been pretty reasonable, but I think too many people are looking at it from just one point of view instead of understanding this is something with nuance. So here are my main points with it. First of all, I think the IPF is going about this the wrong way, because at the end of the day, if you didn't do your due diligence to do your testing on these knee sleeves the way you're supposed to make sure that they are in compliance with the way the material is supposed to be according to your rules, that's on you. And the fact that you already took money from these companies to be on the IPF approved list, and they were supposed to be good through, I believe, 2026, and that you're cutting it out early, I personally think that's unacceptable. I don't think that's the right way to go about business or handling your federation. And once again, it's screwing these companies out of a lot of money that they paid not only to get on the list, but all the stock we have of this product, expecting people to be able to buy it and use it in this federation. So I think that's just outright wrong. It is one of these things where we already know the IPF doesn't really care when it comes to rules they do. I actually think this is one of like the least damaging things they've done. I think like Article 14, the elbow depth rule are far worse by comparison. But it's one of these things where it's like, I kind of expect it at this point. Like the IPF is not, I'm not shocked when the IPF does things like this, but I do think it's just flat out wrong they're doing that. With that being said, I think the other point that I have to hit on is, a lot of people are like, hey, the money that people have spent on these knee sleeves and how that's unfair. And I feel you on that. I mean, you guys know I use the A7 Rigor Mortis. Not only that, I've spent a lot of money on stiff knee sleeves as a whole, because I've done these comparison videos, comparing the knee sleeves, saying, hey, this might be best for you if you're this type of lifter, that type of lifter. So that's a lot of money that could be seen as wasted, right? And it is unfortunate, but we're all kind of in that same boat where we spent money on this. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like this is the same community where we'll spend money on the same product every year, just in a different colorway. So I'm kind of like, yeah, it sucks, but it kind of is what it is. There's not much we can do about it in regards to that. Now, one counter that people have brought up when I try to say that is like, well, yeah, but how much money that was for you could be a lot more damaging for somebody else. And I totally feel that, I totally agree. But all I have to say is this. When I was powerlifting in college, I was working 4 jobs to try to avoid student loans, pay rent, all that type of stuff. My first powerlifting meet, I did not use my own knee sleeves, belt, wrist wraps, singlet, or squat shoes. I was in heels back then. I borrowed a friend's because I knew that I couldn't afford to pay for all that stuff without putting myself at some type of financial risk. So just being very blunt, I know people aren't gonna like this, but powerlifting is a luxury sport. It's not a necessity. So if you know you're already in a financial bind and you're spending money on equipment that could put you in a bad position, I'm sorry, but with all due respect, that's just being foolish with your finances. Like, it's hard for me to feel bad about people where it's like, man, I'm living check to check. Then you probably shouldn't be focused on spending equipment on powerlifting. I don't even know if you should be powerlifting because how much money goes into it. You might want to focus on kind of, you know, getting your finances in a better spot first, then you can come and enjoy this luxury sport. So that's what I'd say about that. And then lastly, a lot of people are being like, oh, this is SBD's fault, they're monopolizing and stuff like that. That's a bunch of hearsay. A lot of people are putting out information that SBD is the one that ran the test on the knee sleeves. All I have to say to that is this. Even if they are the one that ran the test on the knee sleeves, if the knee sleeves are not in accordance with IPF rules, then that is what it is. And ultimately, it's not like you can't use these other brands. You can still use all the brands I listed off. You just can't use their stiff knee sleeves. And if the argument is, yeah, but the SBD knee sleeves out of the softer sleeves are the best, well, that's not SBD's fault. You should want these other companies to step up and make a product, which I actually have talked to a couple people, and I think that's what they plan to do, to come out and make a product or make a new knee sleeve that can maybe compete with SBD, but follows like the new guidelines, right? So that is what it is. And then my last point, which is the biggest point, if you're complaining about this because you're worried about your squat not feeling as good or being weaker, I'm sorry, like, you gotta adapt. Like, that's a very weak mentality in my opinion. And this comes from somewhere where I use the stiff knee sleeves, a lot of my clients use stiff knee sleeves. It sucks, but we're all in the same boat. Adapt. It's no different when people are like, oh, I'm not well leveraged for the squat, it's hard for my squat to improve. Okay, adapt, get bigger, get stronger, refine your technique. Same thing with the knee sleeves. We were all doing just fine before these knee sleeves came out, and we'll continue to be okay now that they're gone. That's my mentality overall of it. It sucks that the IPF is doing it. It sucks that we spent money on these sleeves that we can no longer use. But as of right now, that's the hand we're dealt. So the best thing we can do is just adapt and focus on what can we do to get better and improve and get used to the sleeve. So what I've encouraged all my clients to do is, even if though the rules don't take place till August, if you're in the IPF umbrella, just go ahead and switch anyway so you can start getting used to it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the knee sleeves. Let's get back to the workout. All right, guys, so bench felt surprisingly good, just because, keep in mind, so I benched on Friday at the meet, obviously, my 3 attempts, but no back down volume. Monday I benched, but I just came in and worked up to 140 for a single, and that's it. And the reason why I did that is because since I wasn't officially back on program yet, I wanted to have a little bit of fun with weighted dips, which I don't think I even told you guys. If you're on Instagram, you know, but I ended up hitting 110 kg, 242 pounds on weighted dips while weighing 80 kg. So 190 kg, 418, 419 pounds in total for weighted dips. So that was cool. And that was probably like the absolute hardest thing that I've ever done, just as far as lifting. Like halfway up, I was like, yo, am I going to get this? But I just fought through it. So that was really cool. So I will show that on screen if I didn't already. But anyway, so that's all I did for bench on Monday was that. And then Thursday, we already started the programming that we're doing now. So all I had on bench on Thursday was just a 3x5. And I feel surprisingly good today. Like the top triple felt really, really good with 135. My fatigue single with 5% more than the triple, which is the closest I can get that was 142.5. That moved very well. My, my first set of 5, because like the way it works is I have, my top triple, fatigue single, a like top set of 5, which I did with 125 kg, because my range is 125 to 127. And then I have had a 3x5 after that with a range of 120 to 122. So once again, pushed the top in for my triple and my fatigue single, then went with the lower end of the range for the top set of 5 and the 3 back set of 5. But anyway, I just feel really good. Like I thought bench would feel a lot worse. And we'll see how this continues to persist, keeping in mind that, I've gone from 5 days of benching to 3 days, and I've gone from 23 total sets to 15 sets. But it could be a thing where it just feels okay right now. As we get deeper into it, I feel a little bit more detrained, or the top end goes down a little bit. Or it could be a thing where even though I'm not doing as much of the overall bench volume, I'm able to bridge the gap well with the accessories, the weighted dips, the chest press, everything like that. We'll see, because I do feel very full today as far as like just the musculature feeling full and the pop off the chest. And as I think about it, my intensity bench is still pretty much like I still have my primary bench. My secondary intensity bench is still going to be there on Monday. That used to be on Wednesday. And then I have my priming bench, my 3x5. So really, the main work that was pulled out was the 3x8 ascending close grip bench, and then the 4x4 2-count bench that I used to have on Tuesdays. So not anything heavy, just volume work. So maybe the accessories will bridge the gap enough for it to where the bench still feels good. We'll see. I don't know. And you know what? I don't care. That's not the main focus. That being said, let's go ahead, get through the deadlifts, and then we get to get through the fun stuff. All right, guys, workout is done. So, quick review of everything. So deadlifts, once again, secondary pulls are on this day, which feels so good. Like having my secondary deadlifts on the same day as my primary squats feels so good compared to having to do my primary deadlift after my primary squats. And the thing is, it's like, I knew it was gonna feel good because once again, this is something I do with lots of my clients. It just wasn't great for mild structure because the cumulative fatigue would be too much on this day going into trying to do my primary deadlift on the secondary day on Tuesday. But now that I'm just not doing as much squatting, period, it's gonna feel good. And like I said, this past Tuesday felt really, really good as far as primary deadlifts. And granted, I squatted on Friday at the meet and then did my primary deadlifts on Tuesday. So we'll see how it feels doing it on Saturday for the primary squats and then going into my primary deadlift on Tuesday. But I feel it's gonna feel great. Just the fact that I'm in a position where I am deadlifting first. And that's really what it is, more than just the cumulative fatigue of like what I do on this day. It's the fact that I had primary squats, right? And then if I would have my secondary pulls on this, I would have had the secondary pulls. And then I have high bar on Tuesday, then the primary does, just a lot. But since there's no high bar on Tuesday anymore, there are no secondary squats, or there is, but it's like basically my old tertiary day on Thursday. That's my secondary squat day now, which is super light. So I feel like that's gonna go really well. And as far as the accessories, very, very happy with this. Like, it's gonna be fun really finding where I'm truly at in terms of these higher exertion RPEs. Like typically on a week one, especially on something like a compound like a leg press, like I said last video, I'm hitting around like maybe like an RP 6 to 7. Today on the leg press, I had 4 sets of 12 at RP 6, 7, 8, 8. So I did 5 plates each side for the first couple sets. Then I went to 6 plates for the third, each side for the third set. And then I went to 7 plates each side for the fourth set. And that felt very close to where I need to be for the RP 8. And I know I can push it even more. It's just kind of finding my groove, but still, this is like the hardest I pushed that movement on a week one. The fact that I have 3 more weeks to build off of that, I'm very excited. Leg curls even more unassuming, honestly, because I had 4 sets of 10 at RP 6, 7, 8, 9. So I did 100 pounds for the first set of 10. I'm like, okay, that's way too easy. Did 115 for the second. I'm like, okay, that feels a little bit more appropriate. 130 pounds for the third set, and that felt pretty appropriate for the 8. So then I just went up to 135 for the fourth set of 10, and that felt easier than the third set. So once again, just finding my groove with pushing things appropriately is gonna be fun. And the calves, we ain't gotta worry about RP on calves, but we taking those all the way to failure because your boy can't afford not to. So that's what we're doing, and it'll recover really, really well. Like if I'm getting like, let's say I'm not hitting RP 10 exactly, like let's say RP 9 to 10, that is when I'm pushing for the threshold on the calves. I only have 6 sets a week, and I'm trying to really get the most out of them. So I'm doing the calf raises on the leg press machine here on this day, and then I'll be doing an actual like calf raise machine of some sort on my Tuesday workout. But it's just cool because I can really push myself, not having to worry about like, oh, how's this gonna interfere with my secondary squat day on Tuesday? Because there's no secondary squat day on Tuesday now. It's just my primary deadlifts and then pushing the lower body again with hack squats, leg extensions, leg curls, calves, core. So I'm really excited as far as that, and excited to take you guys through the rest of these workouts. This is the first session of 4. There's 3 more to go, and we're gonna get jacked, man. We're about to ascend the craft to a different level. Like I said, if I get back on the platform, I need 1,600 pounds to be easy. It doesn't need to be a thing where everything has to go perfectly, stars align, no weird calls. Like I need to be able to just go in and know that I can absolutely body that total. Because if not, man, then I'll be pretty upset. Well, not too upset. I'm still gonna get, jacked regardless. Anyway, with that being said, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go to the comment down below, let me know what you did. If not, leave a comment down below, let me know what I can get better. Like the video, share, subscribe. Keep it simple, specific, scientific. I'll catch you guys later.